Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity, y'all, to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer, y'all. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And guess what? The stock market is just one of those avenues. So with that being said, y'all, this video is for educational purposes only. So let's get started, y'all. So we are looking at the VIX, and yesterday we hit a high of 1470, which was not surprising, right? Especially coming out of this area here. So to come back to this wasn't surprising. Now we're at support at 1442, where we had held holding. We were at support, holding support. Let me get my words right, huh? So we were holding support right here at 1441, and we have definitely dropped under that, under the 5 EMA, down to finding support right here at the 20 EMA at 1432. So if we break this, we can come back and retest the 1416 or the 1411. Keep in mind, when the VIX goes down, that means the SPY goes up. It would not surprise me today to see SPY going to the upside, considering we've had a nice, decline. That we just that quick, we've come under the 20 EMA looking at the VIX, right? So that must mean the SPY is climbing. So for the VIX, I would definitely watch the 1416, 1411, 1396 is right here at the 50 EMA, and that was a previous resistance and or support for us. So I would definitely watch that area. And let's see, the ATR trailing stop is at 1384. So it looks like the VIX is breaking out of a gathering spot, and it may come back down and retest this 13 level. It would not surprise me if it does. So let's go to the SPY. And as you can see, y'all, the SPY has been trading in this zone. I call it the no trade zone, or the gathering spot, right? So support has been right here at 521.72, resistance at 522.51. And as you can see, we are testing that resistance now. We've already tested it once at this pre-market high of 522.69, and as we look here, we can see that that was a previous support level. So now it's our resistance level, and we have come up to test that once. It's trying to come back to that area again. So above 522.69, which brings us really close to the 522.75, which is the 50 EMA. So if it breaks the 522.75, we can come back up to the 523.42, and which is the ATR trailing stop. So it is interesting to see that it looks like it wants to break out of this gathering spot. We came down and made a low of 521, which is, let's go to the daily chart really quick. And I know my chart, yes. So looking at it on this daily chart, I know I probably made it a little bit different. We came down and tested this 20 EMA. We could be bouncing off of this 20 EMA to go back to the upside, even though the 5 EMA 526.22 is resistance for us looking at it on the daily chart. But it would not surprise me. SPY normally moves $3.94 per day. It would not surprise me to see a bounce today, because we've had such a decline within the last couple of days. So I would say definitely watch this area. It looks like we're having trouble here. At the high of this candle is 522.61. Again, it will need to break above 522.74, only to know that we're going to have trouble at 523.42. And again, at, let's see, 523.83, 524.02, and 524.61. Those are going to be trouble places looking at it on this 30-minute chart. So again, we're trading in an area of gathering spot, is what I like to say, because it's not really going anywhere. We're kind of moving sideways. So if I traded the SPY today, I would definitely watch those levels. Now, can we go to the downside? We very well can. Again, it moves $3 and something per day, per day, and that's in either direction, right? So I like to look at a higher time frame, and as you can see on this 1 hour chart, we are definitely, that's our gathering spot, right? So SPY is just in this area, and if you're trying to trade this, it's really hard, because you have to trade it from 521.72 to 522.51, and you have to be in, that's a scalping versus, yeah, definitely a scalping opportunity. I wouldn't stay in that long, because me being the overthinker that I am, it's just like a whipsaw up and down. So yeah, if I traded the SPY today, y'all, I would just say be very careful. Just know that it needs to break above 522.74 and hold above that level, and we'll come back to the SPY. And Tesla is Tesla, y'all. We have been trading in this gathering spot of 177.70, 178.08. It's been our range, and we came up. It looks like it's trying to break above that, which we came and tested the 178.80, which is the high of the gathering spot from yesterday. As you can see, candles came, I mean, the price came back to this area here. So the high of this candle is 178.90. We have come, looks like it's trying to give us a double top. However, that candle has not closed, so we need to be careful and be mindful of that. Always wait on your candle to close. Let me say that again. Always wait on your candle to close. So below this 178.40, which is our 5 EMA, is our 20 EMA. We're really close to that. If Tesla comes back down under the 178.08, then we can come back to this area of 177.70, which is kind of close to the 177.83, which is the 50 EMA. So I would watch Tesla below the 177 area, or yeah, the 177.32. If it breaks below 177.32, we could very well come back to the downside, because that is the 200 EMA. And the way that it's been moving, it's just interesting, right? I always say Tesla's Tesla, and if I'm not mistaken, it had some news on a recall for seatbelt issues, I think. There's been a recall today, so I do remember that. I would say trade carefully, right? We're in this zone again. So our trouble place to the downside on the 1 hour is 176.84, which is the 200 EMA, and the 175.50, which is the ATR trail and stop. So we're in that range, and we could very well come back and find support in those areas. If we break that 176 area, just know that we can come back to 175.64. So I would say, and as you can see, that's kind of like our gathering spot here, looking at it over a few days. This is where Tesla has been. So it wouldn't surprise me to see price come back to this area. Honestly, the 173.71 is the area that it wouldn't surprise me to see it come back to that area. Now, if it should break that area, just know that we can continue to the downside. This is Tesla on the daily chart. Tesla normally moves about $6.82 per day, and it has been just creating a gathering spot. As you can see, this is, it's just moving sideways. It's not really a lot of, we had this high here of 186.88, but we've been struggling to get back into that area. Just know that 173.71 is the area that I will watch below that to the downside, and it will need to break above the, it will need to break above, let's say on the daily chart, 180 and above in order, for me to have it's going to probably go to the upside. So above 180 and close above 180 and making higher highs, I would say, okay, yeah. But I would definitely watch Tesla if I traded that today. Again, nothing is guaranteed in the market. Y'all, anything is possible. When the bell ring, anything can change. I say that often, right? So let's go to AMD. AMD is interesting. It's interesting. And we had a high of 168.75 on 530, right? And today it's been in this little gathering spot here. Support is at the 164.35, resistance at 165.19. So I would definitely watch the 164.35 area. If we break down under that, it puts us under the ATR trail and stop at 164.14 and the 163.94. So those are areas to the downside that I will watch for AMD. Now, can we come back and retest those areas to the high? We very well can, considering that we had a nice little decline on yesterday. So at the 20 EMA is at 165.24, and the 50 and the 200 is really close, and they have crossed, looks like, to the downside. So 165.83 and 165.87, 165.83 is the area that I will watch to the upside for AMD, but it needs to break above 165.25 and close above that area. So I would say always trade carefully. Keep in mind, AMD normally moves on average $6.70 per day, and looking at it on this daily chart, I know my charts are different sometimes. It's just moving kind of like sideways. It's not really, I would just say trade carefully, right? Go with the flow, allow the charts to come to you, allow the trade to come to you, and not rush into the charts or rush into the trade. Pay attention to there's always a signal, there's always a sign. We just have to make sure that we're paying attention to what's being displayed, right? That's something to be mindful of. So I would watch AMD if I traded that today carefully. Now, we do have some inside day candles today. CVX is one of those, and if it breaks above 158.43, then 158.49 is the target, and it looks like we have tried to test that at 4:30. So I would say watch CVX today. I don't see a lot of activity pre-market, but it is an inside day. Now to the downside, 156.79 gives us a target of 156.47. And let's see how much it moves on an average on daily. $2.35. We are finding support right here at the 200 EMA. So I would definitely watch these areas right here. It is moving sideways, so it could move in either direction, right? So, if I traded CVX, I would say watch those levels. Devon Energy is another inside day candle. It moves 95 cents per day. And if it breaks above 47.69, then the target is 48.74. If it breaks below 47.14, the target is 46.57. And looking at it on this daily chart, it's interesting. I would say just trade carefully, right? So I don't think we have a lot of pre-market activity for Devon Energy. It has been moving in a more or less of a gathering spot, as you can see here. So I would definitely say watch those levels if I traded Devon Energy. Netflix is an inside day today. So if Netflix breaks above 656.74, the target is 664.25, and as you can see, we are breaking down. So below 645.11, which we are under, that gives us a target of 643.85, which we have already reached that target. So just know that support is right here at 642.57 for Netflix, and let's see how much it normally moves on average daily. It moves $14.63. So Netflix has been moving up. It would not surprise me to see it come down and cool off just a little bit. Let's say that. And if it breaks under 646.86, which is our 5 EMA, we can continue down. Keep in mind that 1463 is on average of what the stock moves on a daily basis in either direction, up or down. So I would definitely be mindful of that. Now, NVIDIA is interesting, right? We had 1158.19 as a high, and this was on 530. Today, it seems like it's trying to break out of a gathering spot. We had a sell, it sold off a little yesterday, came back down to 1087. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a bounce today. Just know that 1106.86 was the support and 1114.34 was resistance. It seems to be breaking out of the gathering spot, as you can see here, and we are above the 5 EMA. So I would definitely say the 50 EMA at 120.46 is trouble for us. 1125.49 is the ATR trail and stop, and it too is trouble for us. That is our resistance area. I would definitely watch 1123.78. So if I traded NVIDIA, I would watch 1120.47, 1123.78, and 1125.49. Those are going to be resistance areas as of now. Again, when the market opens, anything is possible. To the downside, if it breaks under 1106.86, we can come back and retest 1098.48 and 1092.78, 1087, and 1079.62, which is the 200 EMA, looking at it on this 30-minute chart. So again, if I traded NVIDIA, I would definitely watch those levels. Again, anything is possible. And let's see the Qs. Let's see where we are with the Qs. It looks like we're breaking out of this area. Support was at 449.81. Resistance I had at 450.69. Again, this is pre-market support and resistance. Our gathering spot here. We came and tested this ATR trail and stop. 451.94 is our resistance. It came up, tested, and got rejected, right? So 451.51 was the 50 EMA. We are now under that 50 and that ATR trail and stop, only to come back to the 450.69 area, 451 area. So I will watch that 450.69. Under that, it's going to, we can come back to the downside or just trade in this zone here. So I would definitely watch the Qs. If I traded that, 449.81 to 450.69 is our gathering spot. So above that or below that, I will watch those areas. So let's go back to the SPY just to do a recap. And SPY 2 is getting rejected at this 50 EMA, and it looks like it's forming a hanging man. So I would definitely watch the SPY at this area. It would need to break above the 522.75 and close above that area. We reached the 522.72. However, it seems like we're having trouble in that area. So again, this is our area of wait on the trade to come to you. Support is at 522.51 and resistance is at 522.51, and 521.72. So I would definitely watch those areas. It's interesting when you see support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support, right? And look, that's what trading is all about, support and resistance. So let's go back to Tesla really quick. Tesla is still in the same area, just trading sideways, y'all. It would not surprise me to see Tesla sell off today. It's just been interesting at how the stock has been moving. So a break below 173 would definitely not surprise me. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just looking to see, this is what I see when I look at the chart. So yeah, y'all, I always like to say, y'all, hope that everyone have a very productive day, an awesome day today. I do these because this is what I see when I look at the market. And there's no, I would say, right or wrong. We all see things differently. We all learn differently. And the most important thing is to develop how you learn, how you see. And it's just like putting a puzzle together. We just have to learn the pieces and how to apply the pieces, right? So yeah, I hope that everyone have a very productive day today. And I always like to leave you with this, y'all. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.